Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to a new episode of Muslim Fin, the podcast. Today we'll be talking about all things Islamic finance. It's myself, Ali Sali, and Siraj Music. Thanks for being here again, Siraj.
Shukran for the invitation.
Absolutely. And sometimes Islamic finance can be quite complex. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to break it down for our viewers and make it simple and easy to understand. And who better to do that than the expert, Siraj, who's sitting right here next to me. So Siraj, let's get right into it. And I think we'll start with the most basic question. What is Islamic finance?
Well, Ali, Islamic finance essentially represents the rules that pertains to our financial dealings, either be business, trade, and these rules are derived from the Islamic law. So that's essentially what Islamic finance is.
Okay, thank you for that. I'm sure that there's a lot more to it and can definitely be a lot more complicated. So I think what most of the viewers always want to know is, well, what's the difference between Islamic finance and conventional finance?
So where you'll find the difference is in the rules of Islamic law. And I think the main difference is the prohibition of riba or interest, as we know, as well as uncertainty in contracts, and as well as avoiding products such as pork and alcohol. And these are basically the principles that governs our financial dealings.
So again, you mentioned these principles, right? And the principles are obviously they're timeless. And started probably more than 1400 years ago. So how does that fit into today's modern financial world?
That's an excellent question, Ali, and I think you started off well because the principles of Islam and Islamic law are timeless. And like you mentioned, it's probably derived 1400 years ago. And I think the main question we find in the market or amongst our consumers and our clients and our people is that how do we apply principles that were derived from the past to the modern financial landscape? And it's a good question. And what I can say is that, although the principles have remained the same, I think the evolution in technology has changed, as well as the financial landscape.
Yeah.
And what we've seen was that our Sharia scholars, that are experts in Islamic law, have worked, with the financial industries, as well as the experts, to close that gap, and then be able to, create products that are Islamically or Islamic, and then obviously then have those for our Muslim community.
And I'm sure our viewers are very interested to find out more about the Islamic finance products. Well, are these products competitive in the market? Do they compete with the conventional products?
So there's been a huge evolution in terms of the products and the structures. And alhamdulillah, today our products are quite competitive. And it's really difficult in the sense that you can't compare apples with apples because the financial structure of these products are different. It's Islamic, there's no riba involved, etc. So it's difficult to compare, the conventional product with the Islamic product. That being said, we have seen a huge push in terms of the pricing of these products and in terms of competitiveness. So if you look in the market today, whether it be residential property finance, vehicle finance, they've almost managed to price our Islamic products on par with the conventional products, which has been great for our Muslim community.
And that brings me to the question around, the products itself. With these products, you always find people saying, well, is there really a difference? What's the difference between Islamic finance and conventional finance? Are these products truly unique? Are they truly unique in the way they are set up? Because they seem to, in many cases, mirror some of the conventional products.
Correct. So you need to understand that the conventional banking system has been around for ages. And Islamic finance, compared to our conventional counterparts, have basically just recently come to the market. And I think the natural evolution was to look at what we have in the market and be able to offer those products to our Muslim clients from a Sharia or Islamic perspective. So what we've seen was that, from the transactional accounts, investments, financing of homes and vehicle finance, what our scholars and the Islamic banking industry wanted to do is be able to offer those existing products in the market to our Muslim clients. although I can say there's definitely been a big push in terms of producing unique Islamic offerings and proposition. And later down the years, we'll definitely see more products come to the market, and that is great for our Muslim community.
Yeah, look, if we look at some of the statistics, 1.8 billion Muslims, 49 countries that have majority Muslim populations. So when we talk about Islamic finance and politics specifically or especially, right, thinking about things like Brexit and COVID and all the many wars that are going on across the world, how does Islamic finance assist in maybe making changes to some of the events that are happening in the world, or assisting with improving things for Muslims?
So that's quite an interesting question. With political as well as economical factors, those will definitely have an impact on both the Islamic as well as conventional markets. But that being said, what we've seen was actually growth in the Islamic financial industry. And I think the reason for that is that from an Islamic banking or finance perspective, the way the products are structured is that there's always an asset involved. Right? It's not a matter of money for money. When I say money for money, when I borrow you $100 and I said, at the end of the month you need to pay me back 120, that difference in the amount is considered interest or riba from Islamic perspective. So whereas from an Islamic banking or finance perspective, we finance an asset. So there's always an asset that basically is at the center of the transaction. Obviously, there's other aspects like the certainty of contracts, etc. So, in the event that when something happens, that asset is still there to cover any risk that's involved in that particular contract.
Okay, and what are some of the challenges that Islamic finance faces in today's modern world? In trying to achieve its full potential.
I think, from a community perspective, I think education is key. I think majority of people have heard about Islamic finance, they heard about Islamic banking, they've seen these different industries pop up in the market, but very few understand the intricacies and the back end of what this means. So we talk about Islamic finance, and Islamic property finance and vehicle finance and Islamic products, but nobody really understands how this is made up of, what is the structure of this, how does this assist, why it is important to actually look at these products as an alternative to the conventional product. So I think education is key, that's definitely number one. And then also scalability, to be able to bring the products to the market, especially to markets that might not have easy access to these type of products or Shariah-compliant products. So definitely education, scalability, and then also that, to ensure that there's a trust in the market as well. When we talk about Islamic finance, there is a responsibility not just to make wealth, but also to ensure that wealth, goes around, that everybody can benefit from wealth, so yeah.
No, absolutely, and I think that's really the point of Muslim Fin. We are here to help the Muslim community in educating the Muslim community when it comes to Islamic finance and banking. We want Islamic finance and banking in terms of the products to be scaled, and we understand the importance of wealth, kind of in a sense, what the term you use was rotating almost in a sense where wealth flows from one point to another, and that's really how it's supposed to be. But we want to thank you very much again for being here, Siraj. We are going to be doing a series on various products available to the South African Muslim community, so keep a lookout for that over the next coming weeks, and we thank you all for joining in, and please do like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to support us. It will definitely help. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.